Black toddlers are some of the most brilliant little humans on the planet. But here's what most parents don't realize. The most extraordinary things about them are happening invisibly, right now, in the first 3 years of life. Miss this window and you miss everything. Kezia was a first-time mom in Atlanta. She followed every milestone chart she could find. But her daughter Amara was different. More expressive, more alert, more aware. Kezia thought she was imagining it. She wasn't. A specialist told her straight, "Your daughter isn't behind. She's extraordinary in ways mainstream research has barely begun to document." Kezia cried, from pride. 9 facts. Scientifically backed, culturally rooted. Stay for number 9. It will change how you talk to your child tonight. Let's start. 1. Black babies are born more neurologically advanced. Here's what most people don't realize. Multiple studies, including landmark research from the 1970s by developmental psychologist Dr. Marcel Gaber, found that African babies demonstrated advanced neurological and motor development at birth compared to Western norms. We're talking about newborns who could hold their heads up, track objects with their eyes, and show social responsiveness earlier than standard developmental charts predicted. Think about what that means. Your baby from literally day 1 may be ahead of the curve that was never designed with them in mind. Here's the practical part. Stop measuring your black newborn against charts created from studies with little to no black representation. Instead, document what your baby is actually doing. Keep a simple journal or video log from day 1. You may be watching a child who is developmentally running laps around expectations. And when you see early alertness, early head control, early eye contact, don't be surprised. Celebrate it. Understand it. Respond to it. Because that early neurological richness needs a rich environment to grow into. And here's the emotional truth. Your child arrived ready. Your job is to meet them where they are, not where a chart says they should be.
2. Their skin is doing something remarkable from birth. Black toddler skin contains significantly higher levels of melanin, and melanin isn't just pigment. It's a biologically active compound that interacts with the nervous system, potentially influencing sensory processing. Research published in dermatology and neuroscience journals has explored connections between melanin concentration and neurological function, suggesting that melanin-rich children may process sensory experiences with unique depth and intensity. What does this mean for your toddler? It might explain why your child seems to feel music differently, why textures matter so much to them, why certain environments feel overwhelming, or why they respond to color and light with such powerful reactions. Here's what you should do with this. Pay close attention to your toddler's sensory preferences from 0 to 3. Create environments rich in texture, color, rhythm, and sound. Don't dismiss their sensory reactions as dramatic or oversensitive. They may literally be experiencing the world with greater intensity. That's not a problem. That's a superpower in need of a wise guide. 3. They are wired for community learning from birth. Here's something fascinating. Research in developmental psychology has consistently shown that children raised in collectivist cultural environments, which is the foundation of most African and African American family structures, develop social cognition and emotional intelligence earlier and more robustly than children raised in individualistic environments. Black toddlers raised in homes with grandparents, cousins, aunts, church families, and tight-knit communities aren't just getting love. They are receiving a neurological education that no classroom can replicate. Multiple attachment figures, multiple voices, multiple emotional responses. Their brains are building richer social maps because of it. So that loud Sunday dinner with 20 family members, that's not chaos. That's a developmental masterclass. The grandmother who talks to your baby constantly from birth, she's building language architecture in that tiny brain. The older cousin who plays peekaboo for 20 minutes, that's attachment science in action. Lean into community. Don't isolate your toddler in the name of modern parenting trends. Their brain was built to be raised by many. 4. Black toddlers develop emotional vocabulary faster in the right environment. A study from Harvard's Center on the Developing Child found that serve and return interactions, where a caregiver responds to a child's emotional cues consistently, build the foundation of emotional intelligence. And here's what's specific to Black toddlers. Research shows that Black mothers in particular demonstrate high levels of emotional expressiveness and responsiveness, which directly accelerates their toddlers' emotional development. In plain language, the way Black mamas talk, the expressiveness, the eye contact, the dramatic reactions to everything, the and oh baby, and the full body response to a child's feelings, that is premium brain development. That is neuroscience happening in real time on your kitchen floor. If you're a caregiver of a Black toddler, don't tone down your expressiveness because someone tells you you're being too loud or too much. Your expressiveness is a developmental tool. Use it intentionally. Name emotions constantly. You're frustrated right now. I can see you're so excited. That made you feel scared, didn't it? From 0 to 3, as you are literally building the emotional vocabulary that will carry your child through their entire life.
5. Their hair is a developmental experience. And here's something most people completely miss. The hair care rituals of Black toddlers, the detangling, the braiding, the twisting, the sitting still while mama works section by section, are far more than grooming. They are rich, multi-sensory bonding experiences that simultaneously develop patience, trust, body awareness, and attachment. Research on tactile stimulation in early childhood shows that regular, loving touch to the scalp and head region stimulates nerve endings connected to emotional regulation and feelings of safety. When you care for your Black toddler's hair with gentleness and intention, you are sending signals directly to their developing nervous system that say the world is safe, your body is cared for, you are loved. Make hair time sacred. Talk during it. Sing during it. Tell them family stories. Show them pictures of family members with similar hair. This isn't just grooming. It's cultural transmission, physical bonding, and neurological nourishment happening all at once. And starting this in infancy means your child enters toddlerhood with deep body acceptance, already rooted in their identity. 6. They absorb racial identity earlier than you think. Here's the fact that surprises most parents. Studies by researchers including Dr. Brigitte Wittrup have shown that children as young as 6 months begin to notice racial differences. By age 2, Black toddlers are already forming the earliest seeds of racial self-awareness. By age 3, they are actively processing messages about what it means to look like them. Most parents wait too long to introduce positive Black identity. They think their toddler is too young. They're not. What this means practically is that the images in your home matter right now. The dolls you choose matter right now. The books you read matter right now. The music you play matters right now. Seeing their own face reflected in heroes, in art, in your bookshelves, in the people you celebrate, builds something researchers call racial identity security. And that security is directly linked to resilience, academic achievement, and mental health outcomes decades down the road. Start today. Not when they're older. Today. 7. Their language development is richer than one language. Here's something fascinating. Many Black toddlers grow up code switching naturally between African American Vernacular English and Standard American English, or between multiple languages and dialects, depending on their family heritage. And research in bilingualism and multi-dialect development shows this is not confusion, it is a cognitive advantage. Studies from the University of Washington found that babies raised in multilingual or multi-dialect environments develop stronger executive function, better attention control, and greater cognitive flexibility. Your toddler moving between grandmother's dialect and the way they speak at daycare isn't a problem to fix. It's a mental workout that's building a stronger brain. So please, never shame your toddler for how they speak at home. Never tell them that the way grandma talks is wrong. Never make them feel that one version of themselves is more acceptable than another. Both languages, both dialects, both worlds, they belong to your child, and the ability to move between them is a gift, not a gap.
8. Music is literally in their neurology. There's actual science here. Research from the University of Washington showed that rhythmic musical exposure in infancy strengthens neural connections related to language, attention, and emotional processing. And here's what's specific and extraordinary about Black toddlers. They are being raised inside one of the most rhythmically sophisticated musical traditions in human history. Gospel, R&B, Afrobeats, hip-hop, jazz, blues. These aren't just genres. They are neurological nutrition. The polyrhythms, the call and response, the emotional range, the storytelling embedded in Black music traditions are doing developmental work on your toddler's brain every single time they hear them. When your baby bounces to a beat before they can walk, that's not cute. That's neuroscience. When your toddler hums a melody back to you, that's language development in musical form. When they clap along to a church song, that's rhythmic processing building math foundations. Surround your toddler with Black music intentionally. From lullabies to drum beats to grandmother's gospel hum, you are feeding their brain the richest possible diet. 9. The words you speak over them are literally building their brain. And this is the one most parents miss completely. Here's the most important thing I will say in this entire video. Research from the landmark Hart and Risley study found that the number and quality of words a child hears in the first 3 years of life directly determines the size of their vocabulary, their reading ability, and their academic trajectory for the rest of their life. But more recent research has gone further. It's not just the quantity of words, it's the emotional weight of the words. Words spoken with love, with cultural pride, with identity affirmation, build differently in a Black toddler's brain than neutral words on a word count. When you say, "You are brilliant," and you mean it. When you say, "You come from greatness," and you believe it. When you whisper, "Your ancestors were extraordinary and so are you," over a sleeping baby, those words are laying down neural architecture that no school, no program, no intervention can replicate later. The research is clear. The most powerful developmental tool available to the parent of a Black toddler from birth to age 3 costs absolutely nothing. It is your voice, your words, your stories, your affirmations, spoken consistently, spoken with love, spoken with the full weight of who your people are. Talk to your baby constantly. Not just instructions, not just corrections. Tell them who they are. Tell them where they come from. Tell them what they carry. From birth, not later, now. Because the brain that is forming right now in this season, in these 3 precious years, that brain is listening to every single word you say. And it is building itself around what it hears. Black toddlers don't just need to be fed and loved and kept safe, though all of those things matter deeply. They need to be seen. Fully, specifically, extraordinarily seen for what the research now confirms they are. Neurologically advanced, culturally rooted, emotionally brilliant, rhythmically gifted, and arriving into this world already carrying centuries of resilience in every cell. These 9 facts aren't just interesting, they are a responsibility. Now that you know them, you cannot unknow them. And every interaction you have with your toddler from this moment forward can be an intentional act of development, of identity building, of love in its most powerful form. If this video opened your eyes, please hit that like button so other parents can find it too. Subscribe for more science-backed content on raising thriving children. And tell me in the comments, which fact surprised you the most? Which one are you going to use starting today? Your toddler is watching you right now. Go show them you see them.